Welcome to Pretense of Justice News Update. We keep our pulse on legal issues. We are compassionate, informative, and driven. We advocate justice for all. We are Pretense of Justice. Let the justice begin. Welcome to Pretense of Justice News Update. Let's get into today's update. Today's update is from an excerpt from Dr. Carmen Johnson's book, Pretense of Justice, and that excerpt was featured on the website Progressive Prison Ministries. The Pretense of Justice, an open letter to the judges of America by Dr. Carmen Johnson. Dear honorable judges in America, you have the power to change or devastate another person's life with the stroke of your ink pen. The United States carceral system is over-aggressive in the areas of law enforcement, surveillance, prosecutors, courts, prisons, jails, camps, and cages. There appears to be reforms for police and prisons. However, a lot of states still refuse to slow up on mass incarceration. They continue to lock up thousands of men, women, and youth with this systematic machine with no option of rehabilitation or therapy. These men, women, and youth find themselves behind the wall, brutally beat, tortured, and mentally abused and assaulted, lied on, and the list goes on. In your mind, maybe you think a certain group of American people deserve to be in servitude. It is hard to demand reform by the community for police, overreaching prosecutors, and the prisons when the system is working perfectly for another group of people. Suppose you look at this system from an even broader ethical lens and see how this system is designed to target Black and brown communities. Where is the fairness and justice in this? During every election cycle, we always hear from elected officials that crime is up, and most of them win on this platform. Many Americans do not understand that there are so many laws, statutes, and codes on the books that it makes it almost impossible not to break one of them on a daily basis. Did you ever question the conspiracy law? This is when a person can be sent to prison for knowing or not knowing about a crime. Whoever put that law or statute on the books really destroyed so many people's lives. Are you aware that some police, investigators, and guards lie, cheat, trump up charges, take advantage of, and even kill us like animals in their custody? The brutality, neglect, and deaths that go on behind the wall at the hand of staff and guards are at an alarming rates around the country. Even with the prisons and jails under scrutiny for this abuse and deaths, the topic continues to be ignored. Have you looked at this alarming data? Think about what these loved ones went through when C-19 was at its peak. There is little to no medical care and no mental health care behind the wall. Are you aware that solitary confinement is still happening? Even though it is considered unconstitutional, the guards and staff at prisons and jails found a way to keep you in solitary confinement by moving you to another cell, which makes your clock start all over again in solitary confinement. I think about how most of these people that are a part of this system stick closely together. This makes it totally impossible to get remedy for the loved ones behind the wall with investigators and audits full of lies. Some people think a loved one behind the wall deserves this abuse. Do you know many innocent people end up in jail, prison, camps, and cages with long sentences? What are your thoughts on a person that spends 10, 15 to 40 years behind the wall and was truly innocent and is now able to come home? Come home to what? How do they rebuild their lives when their immediate family is dead or the world around them is different? Think about the loved ones that went through a faulty investigation, a strange and unusual trial, abuse behind the wall, and still have to walk around for the rest of their lives labeled as a felon. As I mentioned already in the book, that in 2019, even as a practicing Buddhist, I had written out 21 ways how I was going to take myself out. Coming home in 2018 as an innocent Indigenous Black American woman, I did not get street credibility or a badge of honor. I came home to embarrassment and little to no help. I even had people in the movement tell me to stop telling people I am innocent. This blows my mind every time I hear it. The trauma still runs so deep until it sings in my heart every morning, reminding me that I have been to hell and back. Every morning as I brush my teeth and I wash my face, I still see the residue of the burn mark on my forehead. It reminds me that I am a victim of violence by male white guards that jumped me and spit in my face for refusing to acknowledge to the name criminal and or inmate. I think about that young brother named Khalif Browder, the backpack kid from New York. His story saved my life, and I cannot personally thank him. That innocent brother took himself out because he could not deal or make sense of the fact he went to Rikers Island for a crime he did not do. I had never heard of the backpack kid until I saw his documentary in 2019. I had no idea it was going to end with him taking himself out. The difference between my story and his was the fact that a lot of his beatings by guards and others were caught on video. I still get up every morning thinking, can I make it today or should I just end my life? I then remember that I have a great family and great mental health team. I wanted to write to all judges in America to invoke the question above. The biggest question of all is, suppose you got just one case wrong in your career and you caused so much pain and suffering to a loved one and their family, and in some cases, death to a loved one behind the wall. I respectfully ask you, does it really matter to you, or is it just business like usual? I can only assume that there are some great judges out there that get up every day and make a difference in his or her courtroom by doing the right thing with their ink pen. Believe it or not, I know a few caring, ethical, and amazing judges, and to watch them in court makes me understand that there is still hope. I have worked with countless law students across the country, and I tell them all to remember what they have seen in court watching today and to remember what happened to that woman named Carmen. I go on to tell them that I expect them to go off and be great attorneys and or judges one day. I have dreamed of this, manifested this, created this, and it is done. I trust that our youth that are in law school will go off and do the right thing. That right thing is to never forget that we are all one. Maybe then I can stop calling this man-made system the pretense of justice. Sincerely, Carmen. And Dr. Carmen Johnson is the founder of Helping Ourselves to Transform. She is an author advocate, and humanitarian. So I want to thank you all for listening. If you are not subscribed to us, I encourage you to subscribe, like this video, and share. And remember Dr. Carmen's book, The Pretense of Justice. It is available for purchase on Amazon in hard copy as well as paperback. I will leave links in the description for that. And if you are interested in supporting the cause of Dr. Carmen's organization, HOT, Helping Ourselves to Transform, I will leave a link in the description as well. This particular organization is dedicated to help people in need going through the criminal system. So with that said, I also want to remind you that we will be back live Monday, August 1st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're back from our hiatus, and we are welcoming a special guest, Judge Joe Brown. I will also leave a link in the description to the live show tomorrow. So I wish everyone well today, and I thank you for listening. We are Pretense of Justice. Peace and love.